Well, good morning and welcome to Saturday morning meditation. We are going to get started with 3-7-line prayer. Organ yugi numjan sam pemage sardombola yatsen chogi ngodrume pemajung ne jesura kordu kandro mangpokor ketki jesuda drupki jinji lopchi shek suso guru pema city home. Organ yugi numjan sam pemage sardombola yatsen chogi ngodrupne pemajung ne jesurak kordu kandro mangpokor ketki jesudak drupki jinji lopchi shek suso Guru Pema City Home. Organ Yogi Numjan Sam Pemage Sardompola Yatsen Chogi Ngodrupne Pemajung Jesurak Kordu Kandro Mangpokor Ketki Jesudak Drupki Jinji Lopchi Shek Suso Guru Pema City Home. All right. So let's take a moment to remember our motivation for being here today and to generate compassion. So whenever we begin an activity, it's important to begin by generating compassion for all sentient beings and establishing a pure motivation. When we have a small motivation, like just including ourselves, our own benefit, then the effect of our practice is also small. And when we have a bigger motivation, when we think of our friends and family, we have a bigger effect. And when we think of all sentient beings and we consider all of them, we dedicate the merit to all beings in that really limitless way, then we have a limitless effect to our practice. So let's take a moment to generate compassion and make the wish that that our meditation here today brings a measurable benefit, not only to ourselves, but to all sentient beings. All right, and the meditation that we'll be doing today is called Shamatha or Shine meditation, and this is taught by Jetsma in her book, Stabilizing the Mind. So Jetsma has taught that meditation is the natural state of mind when it is relaxed, stable, and open. The meditation that we'll be doing today is a meditation on the breath, and this can also be done on, you can also put your attention on a flower or an image of the Buddha or a candle or a crystal. And this meditation that we're going to do, it trains our mind to be calm and relaxed, yet also alert and wakeful. And the point of this meditation is to create space in the mind. Creating space in the mind helps us to balance our emotions, and it allows us some time between action and reaction, some time between what happens to us and our reaction to it. And that little bit of space is the first step in the development of bodhicitta, which is the compassionate wish to free all sentient beings from suffering. So take a comfortable seat. You can sit cross-legged on the floor, or you can sit in a chair. However you're sitting, just place your hands in your lap, gently relaxed. Check in with your posture. Make sure that your spine is straight. You can imagine a thread going up your spine and out the top crown of your head. Just pull that thread so that you're sitting up nice and tall. And your shoulders are open. We're not collapsing in on ourselves. Our shoulders are open. Your elbows are out a bit. So you've got a lot of room around your rib cage. So you've got room to breathe. Giving ourselves room to breathe is important because allowing the breath to come in and out in an unobstructed way, not obstructed by slouching or like collapsing in on yourself. Letting the breath flow unobstructedly in and out helps us to allow our experience to flow unobstructedly in and out during our meditation, allowing us our thoughts to move through, our experiences to move through, our emotions to move through. The breath is allowing the breath to move is very important to help that. So then your eyes are going to remain open. You can look down the line of your nose. If you imagine a line going down the bridge of your nose down to the ground, you can find a place along that line to rest your gaze. And then place the tip of your tongue right behind your front teeth. It's like you're saying the letter L. And allow yourself to relax completely and breathe normally. Just breathe in your natural rhythm. If you need to take a deep breath to relax to start out, if you feel like you don't remember how to breathe, and take a deep breath, let it out, and just fall into your normal rhythm of breathing. And then put a very light attention on your breath. You don't try to control it at all, just observe it. It's like taking your pulse. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. And when thoughts come up, just let them go, like bubbles popping on the surface of a pond. You can just let them pop. You don't have to look to see what they are. You don't have to look to see if it's a good thought or a bad thought. You can just let it go. Your meditation is not lost by hearing your thoughts, but by following them down the road. So when you find yourself following a thought, just drop it. Just let it pop and return to your breath. And if you have trouble letting them go, you can also imagine cutting the thoughts with scissors and throwing them away, or you can imagine picking them up with spaghetti tongs and dropping them. But just return again and again to that gossamer thin attention on your breath. We're going to sit for 5 minutes for this first round, and then we'll do a longer meditation after that. Okay, so that's our warm-up meditation. um, so meditating even just for a few minutes every day can be really helpful. It builds up that muscle over time. And usually in our day, we practice the opposite of meditation and we try to get ourselves as busy as we can, and we get involved in all sorts of mental activity and emotional activity and physical activity, and we get ourselves all stirred up. And a lot of times the way when we get our emotions stirred up and we say, oh, I have to escape from my emotions by stirring up some mental activity. I should think about things. I should think about some other stuff, or I should dive into this other activity and avoid these emotions by getting all stirred up in some other way. And we just chase like busyness in our minds. So we just chase like being all stirred up. So like if if you imagine like a creek, you stir up all the water and then all the dirt is everywhere and you can't see through the water and it's just all, muddy and busy. All the silt is everywhere in the water. And that's how our minds are all the time. And we just constantly are, stirring the water and getting it all muddy. And so when we sit down in meditation, suddenly we're not stirring the water anymore. And the silt starts to fall to the bottom. And things start getting a little clearer and there's a little bit more space. And so just doing a little bit of meditation, you start seeing that a little bit. You start seeing that if you stop stirring the water, then it's not always so muddy. And so and there's actually a chance for the dirt to settle, and that there's clear water there if you let the dirt settle. So we all have the ability to experience like wisdom and clarity, and but we have to let the dirt settle. We have to stop stirring up our minds and just let ourselves settle a little. And and then also even out, it's if you only have a few minutes for meditation, that is enough to get started. I think people sometimes think you have to really dive into meditation and go straight into like a long retreat or something, or sit for hours at a time. And it's really good to just start with a minute or 2 minutes and just build from there. Just build from there. Just get in the habit of doing it regularly, just a little bit, and you will prove to yourself why it's a good thing to do. And you'll want to keep doing it because you'll just a little minute, you'll prove to yourself to do it. And that internal motivation coming from, because it works, that internal motivation is much more motivating than any external motivation of like, oh, it's good to meditate. Oh, this teacher said it's good to meditate. That's the internal motivation of knowing for yourself that it works, that it helps you. That's really what will keep you going in your meditation practice. And then outside of your meditation practice, you can support your meditation practice by noticing when you're stirring the water and when you're getting yourself all stirred up, and just stop doing it. And you can make different choices. Sometimes there's some really simple choices we can make in our day. Like when I used to work in an office, I was the office manager and people were always bugging me. I was the person people asked for every single questions I shouldn't even have to answer. Like they should be asking their manager that question. They'd always ask me. And I get really annoyed because I'm working and I'm trying to do my thing, and someone comes up and I'm like, oh, I'm going to work on my computer, and they'll see that I'm busy and they'll leave me alone. And it never worked. They would spend longer talking to me because they didn't think I was hearing them. And so I learned if I stopped what I was doing, and whoever was in front of me, if I stopped what I was doing and I put my hands down and I gave them my 100% full attention, the problem would be resolved. They would feel heard, and I could get back to my work much faster. And my emotions didn't get stirred up. So I didn't get distracted by my own busyness. I didn't go, this person. I'd go, oh, hello. That's your question. Here's your answer. Okay, now I can go back to my thing. And then my mind could stay even. And I didn't have this emotional roller coaster, because that was really what was disrupting my day, was my reaction to these interruptions. The interruptions themselves weren't the problem. It was me getting all stirred up by them. So there's a lot of ways that we can support ourselves throughout our day and our daily life to kind of just notice and say, wow, what am I doing to stir myself up there? How could I stop doing that? And that supports your meditation practice as well. So now we can sit for a little bit longer. So we'll go back to our meditation posture and sit with a straight back. Hands are in your lap. If you want to do meditation outside of a formal meditation session, all you have to do is have a straight back and relaxed body. So that's it. Straight back, relaxed body. For now, we're going to have our hands in our lap. Eyes are relaxed, gazing gently downwards. Tongue is right behind your front teeth. Allow yourself to relax completely and breathe normally. And put a very light attention on your breathing. Don't try to control it at all. It's like taking your pulse. You don't put any pressure on it or try to change it in any way. You're just observing your breath, moving in and out. Your attention is like a feather, gently riding on the surface of your breath. Okay, so let's end with some dedication prayers. Throughout my many lives and until this moment, whatever virtue I have accomplished, including the merit generated by this practice, and all that I will ever attain, this I offer for the welfare of sentient beings. May sickness, war, famine, and suffering be decreased for every being, while their wisdom and compassion increase in this and every future life. May I clearly perceive all experiences to be as insubstantial as the dream fabric of the night, and instantly awaken to perceive the pure wisdom display in the arising of every phenomenon. May I quickly attain enlightenment in order to work ceaselessly for the liberation of all sentient beings. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas altogether, whatever kind of motivation you have, whatever kind of beneficial action, whatever kind of wishing prayers, whatever kind of omniscience, whatever kind of life accomplishment, whatever kind of benevolent power, and whatever kind of immense wisdom you have, similarly I, who have come in the same way to benefit beings, pray to attain these qualities. By this effort, may all sentient beings be free of suffering. May their minds be filled with the nectar of virtue. In this way, may all causes resulting in suffering be extinguished, and only the light of compassion shine throughout all realms. Okay. Thanks for coming.